Or we already did that one?
110.
Oh, same one. Let's do a different one.
30. 54. 70.
Jensen! Jensen, we're playing a game.
100. Right next. 64.
Mhm.
100.
Circus.
40. 21. 24. 99. 108.
Mhm.
4. 32.
No, 4 times 4. 4, 8, 12,
16.
16. Mhm. Louder, please. All right, that was 1 minute and 15 seconds. All right, let's try one more time. Ready? Okay, everybody's paying attention. No coloring on erasers. Okay? Nice and loud. Here we go. Go.
48.
No, not 28.
48.
No. Eight times 6 is 48. So 8 times 3 would be half of 48.
24.
Yep.
16. 81.
Yes. Loud.
60.
Or you said 4. 6. Dana. Mm-hmm. She did this here.
126 again. 112.
Brayden.
112.
Close. 132.
18. 12. 132.
What?
132.
Yeah.
He's Stop it, Michael.
Okay, you know your 4th song at least. Or 6th song.
24.
Yes.
32.
Mm-hmm.
90.
A little bit louder, please. Okay. That was 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Okay. We'll keep at it. So we had pretty good success that last time. Okay, next thing is Minds on Math. Pen. I'll just use red pen. Okay, so I need these people, Mason, Nicholas, Jana, and Micah. Okay. Ready? 4 times 4 plus 1 plus 1 divided by 9 times 3 equals
6.
Yes. 4 plus 6 times 10 minus 50 plus 2 equals
52.
Woo! I think you all said it. Did you say,
I'll say it first.
Alright, let's not say I said it first. I'm giving you all the points. all said it together. Okay, one more. 7 times 9 plus 7 plus 30 equals.
100.
Yes. Okay, next group. Lucy, Logan, Alex, and Jensen. Okay. 18 divided by 9 times 12 plus 5 equals.
29.
You said 29.
Yes.
Who else said 29?
Okay.
You all said 29? Okay. Sorry, hold on. Give me a second. Who did I miss? Alex, Lucy. Sorry. Alex? Oh, here, Jensen. Okay, ready? I'll do it faster this time. 12 times 5 plus 3 plus 4 equals.
607.
Sometimes the 2 spits it out first. Okay, and one more. 5 times 4 plus 80 minus 10 equals.
90.
Oh my goodness. Who said 90 first? Alright, next group. Jacob, Braden, Mackenzie, and Autumn. Okay, because I wasn't real sure on that, I'm going to give Jensen a point on that too. Okay, ready? I'm going to do a different card. 2 times 8 divided by 8 times 3 divided by 2 equals.
3.
Yes. 8 times 8 divided by 8 plus 4 minus 3 equals. Whoops. Okay, next one. 2 plus 2 divided by 2 times 8 minus 3 minus 1 divided by 6 equals. Good. Okay. Marissa, Jed, and Noah. Close your book. Close your books, please. Okay, 5 times 3 divided by 5 plus 5 times 9 equals.
81. 72.
Yes, 72. 18 divided by 3 times 3 divided by 2 times 2 equals. I'll say it again.
10.
No. 18 divided by 3 times 3 divided by 2 times 2 equals.
18.
You both tied. Noah and Marissa. Oops. Okay. And then let's do this one. 7 times 9 plus 6 minus 2 plus 3 equals.
70.
Yes. Okay, good job. And then the last group. Dylan, Matthew, and Lucas. All right, ready? Okay. 7 times 3 minus 1 divided by 5 plus 9 equals.
25.
No.
24. 30. 29. 34.
No. Let's do it again.
35.
7 times 3 minus 1 divided by 5 plus 9 equals. Yes. Okay. What about 5 plus 8 minus 3 times 6 divided by 5 equals.
17. 7. 8. 9.
All right.
12. 10.
12. There we go. And one more. Okay. 6 times 6 plus 4 equals.
29. 46.
40. There we go. All right, good job. Fractions, we're going to talk about continued fractions. So turn to page 247. So for homework, you had to add fractions. And today we're going to add fractions again, but we're going to add mixed fractions. So if you have, you can get it later. If you need it, you were going to use that anyway. It's okay, you can get it later. Okay, so you should be turning to page 247. How many of you like fractions? I think they're fun. You can do a lot with fractions. Okay, so for number, let's see. Look at the top of your page. Let's talk about this a little bit. So if you have a mixed fraction, okay, or a mixed number that has a whole number and then a fraction, right? So a mixed number, it contains a whole number and plus a fraction. Alright, so let's first of all get that in your head, mixed numbers. Now it says that you rename improper fractions as mixed numbers. Alright, so they give us, let's see, they have 2 and 7/8 plus 1 and 6/8. Okay, so look at the example. 2 and 7/8 plus 1 and 6/8. Alright, so what we're going to do is first we'll add our whole numbers and then we'll add our fractions. So what's 2 plus 1? 3. This is just the sample. And then what is, we already know our denominator is going to be 8 because the denominator stays the same. What's 7 plus 6? 13. Now, 13 over 8 is a what?
Improper.
It's improper because you have a greater numerator than your denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename our improper fraction. Okay, so renaming it means we're going to turn it back into a mixed number. All right, now, they want you to be thinking in your brain. Okay, and look, they have a little thinking bubble here. Okay, so be thinking of 13 over 8. Let's take out a whole let's take 1 out of there. So remember, 1 is the same when your numerator and denominator is the same number. So if we have 8 as your denominator, what would go here to make 1? No, 8. Okay? 8 over 8 equals 1, right? Okay? And they even drew like a 1 around it. Oops. Kind of like that. That equals 1. Now, we still, so how many more do we need in our numerator in order to make 13? What's 13 minus 8? 5. So we think of this as 5/8. So we're going to think of 13/8 as being 8/8 plus 5/8. Does everybody understand that? So what you're going to do, you're going to pull the number 1 out of it. And we already learned that the number 1 is the same as 2/2, or 5/5, or 9/9. Anything that has the same numerator denominator equals 1. So in our case here, 8 is our denominator, so in order to have 1, we would have 8/8. And then you think, okay, what's your remainder? 5. Okay, 8. If you divide 8 into 13, you have a remainder of 5. So then you're going to, then we're going to add them. Okay? So we're going to add the 1 to this 3. So that is 4. Okay, so that's our whole number. And then we can just bring this over. 5/8. Okay? So let's just go ahead and do them on your paper. I think it'll help if we just practice. So number 1, we have 3 4/5 plus 4 3/5. Okay. So first you're going to add your whole numbers. So what's 3 plus 4? What? 7. Okay, and then add your fractions. So what's 4/5 plus 3/5? 7/5. Okay, now look. We have an improper fraction. So in your mind, think of 7/5 as being 1 2/5, right? Right? Because look, 5 into 7. It kind of, actually the example there was a little, I can see where it would mess you up. So 5 goes into 7 one time, right? We learned this the other day. And then 2 is your remainder, so 2/5. So 1 2/5. So that's how we're going to be thinking of 7/5. We're thinking of it as being 1 2/5. So 7 plus 1 is 8. And then we just have to bring our 2/5 down. Okay, so 8 2/5 is our answer. All right, number 2. We have 2 1/2 plus 4 1/2. So add your whole numbers. What's 2 plus 4? You guys must be brain dead. What's 2 plus 4? 6. Okay. It's okay. I know this is probably confusing, but it's really not once you get the hang of it. And then what are your fractions? 1/2 plus 1/2?
2 2s.
Is 2/2. But what's 2/2 the same as?
Equal as 7.
It's the same as 1. So it's really like we're adding 6 plus 1, which is 7. So our answer is 7. thirds plus 6 and 2/3. All right, so what's 6 plus 6? 12. Now add your fractions. What's 2/3 plus 2/3?
4/3.
4/3. Okay, we've got an improper fraction. But remember, we did this the other day. So just 4/3. What's that as a mixed number? So 3 goes into 4 how many times? Dylan? 3 goes into 4 how many times?
1.
1. It goes in 1 time. And what's your remainder? 1. And then you have put your same denominator. So 4/3 is the same as 1 1/3. If you want to think of it like this, whoops. Think of it like this. You're just dividing 3 into 4. 3 goes into 4 one time, and you have 1 left over. So 1 is your numerator, 3 is your denominator. 1 1/3. Okay. So what is 12 plus 1 1/3? Okay, because remember 4/3 is the same as 1 1/3. 13. Yeah, 13 1/3 is your answer. All right, look at it as this. How about if we write it like this? So we have 12 plus 4/3, and we saw that 4/3 was 1 1/3. So 12 plus 1 1/3 is 13 1/3. So that's our answer. Number 4. 8 3/9 plus 1 4/9. Okay, what are we going to do first?
You're going to add the
We'll add the whole numbers. So what's 8 plus 1?
9.
9. Okay, now what?
4 plus 5 9.
3/9 plus 4/9, which is
7 9.
7/9. Now, is that an improper fraction? No. So we don't, that's our answer. 9 7/9. You don't need to change it. So those are all written horizontally. Now we're going to think of them vertically. So I'm going to erase these. Hopefully everybody has them on your paper already. Number 5. 4 4/6 plus 1 4/6.
5.
Okay, what do we do first?
4 plus 4.
Add your whole numbers. 4 plus 1 is 5. And then what?
4 plus 4. 8.
Okay, so add your fractions. 4 plus 4 is 8. And then what's our denominator? 6. Okay. So be thinking 8 6. Okay, what's the mixed number for 8 6? So you're dividing 8 by 6.
6 and 2 6.
No. 6 does not go into 8 6 times.
1 and 1/2.
One time, right? 8 6 is the same as 1. And then how many? What's our remainder?
2 6.
2. 1 and 2/6. So now we're adding 5 and 1 and 2/6.
6.
It's just 6 and 2/6, right? That's our answer. All right, so just remember, last week you were doing all kinds of these. You were doing 12 fifths, that equals 2 and 2/5. And 7/3, that equals 2 and 1/3. Okay, you were doing these. Quick, quick, quick. That's all you're doing here. you're just changing. That's what you're doing. 8, 6 is the same as 1 and 2, 6. But we can't forget the 5. You have to add that to that because it's just renaming it so that you can add it. Number 6. Okay, 3 and 1, 7 plus 4 and 2 sevens. Okay, I'm gonna call on somebody. All right, Autumn, nice and loud. Tell me what to do first. Okay, 3 plus 4 is 7. And now what do I do? Okay, so 1 plus 2 is 3, and then our denominator stays the same. Okay, so is that improper?
No.
No, so we're done. That's your answer. 7 and 3 sevenths. Okay, number 7. 11 and a half plus 3 and a half. So, all right, Nicholas, I'll try to get everyone a turn. Trust me, we'll be doing a lot of these.
So 11 plus 3 is 14.
Okay.
And then 1 plus 1 is 2. And then your denominator is 2, so it's 2 2's.
Right, because when
But
you add the
but it's
denominator.
equal to 1.
Right. So 2 halves is the same as 1, so it's kind of like we're going like this. 14 plus 2 halves.
16.
So which equals what?
15.
No, remember 2 halves is the same as 1, so it's like we're adding 14 plus 1. 15. Okay, everybody got that one? Alright, I'm gonna, please try to keep up. Okay, number 8. Let's see, 7 and 4, 6 plus 2 and 5, 6. Alright, Alex, how do I do this?
Okay. 7 plus 2 is 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do 4, 6 plus 5, 6. That equals 9, 6, which means it's an improper fraction.
Right.
So all you need to do is just subtract how many factors. Subtract.
You want to change your improper fraction into a mixed number.
Yeah. So if you do that, then it will come up with 6, 6.
No.
Oh wait. Well, it will come up to a whole. I'm not very good at explaining this.
Okay. That's okay.
It will come up to a whole, and so you add that whole with the 10 and that. With the 9, and then 9 plus 1 is 10, and then
Right.
that
Woo, where are we going? Tell you what.
Is 2, 6, so it's 10 and 2, 6.
Oh, actually you're close. Okay, what's the mixed number for 9, 6?
10 and 3, 6.
No, just look at 9, 6. What's the mixed number for 9, 6?
3, 6. 1 and 2, 6.
1 and 3, 6. So, what is 1 and 3, 6 plus 9?
10 and 3, 6.
10 and 3, 6.
Ah, man.
Maybe I'm writing too much on the board. Maybe I need to, maybe it gets confusing when I'm writing too much.
Do we have to do the addition things underneath? Or can we just write equals?
You can just write equals just like this.
Okay.
So, but what that means though is that you're doing this in your head. 9, 6, you're doing that in your head and you're thinking, okay, 9/6, that's the same as 1 3/6.
I did 5 3.
And then 1 3/6 plus 9 is 10 3/6. All right. Number 9 is, okay, now we are subtracting. So 4 1/6 minus 1 5/6. Okay. So, tell you what, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna rename, but in order to rename, it's kind of like we're borrowing. Okay, so when you look at, because you can't subtract 1 minus 5, right? Okay, can't do that. So we're gonna we need to have this be a larger number. So we're gonna borrow from the 4, and that's gonna become a 3. Now, I took 1 whole away, right?
Yeah.
So what's the fraction that means 1?
3.
If I have a denominator of 6.
6 6.
Yes, 6/6. So I'm going to add the 6/6 that I borrowed from the 4, and I'm going to change it, add it to the 1/6. So now I have 7/6. Did everybody see what I just did?
Yeah.
Okay, that 3 right there is the same as 6/6, because I'm in 6. So 6/6, I'm going to add that to 1/6, so now I have 7/6. So what is 7/6 minus 5/6? 2/6. And then what is 3 minus 1? 2. So 2 and 2/6. Number 10. So it's just like borrowing, except you just have to think of your fractions in the term of 1. So number 9, 10. 7 and 1/3 minus 2 and 2/3. Now, can you subtract 1 minus 2?
No.
No, you cannot take 2 out from 1. So we're going to need to borrow from this 7. We're going to take 1 whole away from the 7. So what's our 7 become? 6. So we're in thirds. So what fraction equals 1 that has thirds as your denominator? 3/3. So what's 3/3 plus 1/3?
4/3.
4/3. So I can just change my 1 to a 4. Okay, so now I have 4/3. So what's 4/3 minus 2/3?
2/3.
Yes. And what's 6 minus 2?
4.
Yes. 4 and 2/3. All right. Number 11. Let's switch colors just for fun. Okay, number 11. How many of you are getting this? You think you got it?
Sort of.
Okay, let's just keep at it. Okay, so this time we have 6 minus 4 and 5/8. So what do you think we're going to need to do? In order to subtract, what are we going to need to do? Because technically we have, we need a fraction. We need a fraction here to subtract 5/8 from. So what do you think we could do? What would be the same as 6? Nicholas?
1.
No, it has to be the same as 6. Well, how could we rename 6 so that we could use it to subtract?
No, 3.
No, well, we're in 8s.
Oh, 8.
Okay, 8/8 equals 1, but how can we have that equal 6? Logan, what do you think?
3.
Mm-mm.
1 and 2 8. 1 and 2 8.
No. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to think of 6 we need to think of it as a mixed number. So we're going to think of it as being the same as 5 and 8/8. Right? Isn't that the same as 6? 5 and 8/8. Now we can subtract. Okay, because otherwise this was like 0, and you can't subtract 5/8 from 0. So what is 8/8 minus 5/8?
3/8.
Yes. And then what is 5 minus 4?
2. 1.
1. Number 12. You know what's funny is I think this lesson last year may have been the first lesson I taught on video for the virtual. Remember how we started in March, I think it was March 13th. I think this was my first math lesson that I did virtual. So for the rest of this book, I've never actually taught it in the classroom. I taught them all on the video. So, anyway, it just brings back beautiful memories. All right, not really. 9 and 2/5 minus 4 and 3/5. All right, can we subtract 2/5 from and 3? Can we subtract 3/5 from 2/5? No. So what do we need to do? We're gonna need to. We're renaming it, which means it looks like we're borrowing. Okay, Nicholas.
So we take the 9 and make it an 8.
Yes.
And we can think it as 5/5.
Right.
And
The one that we took away is the same as 5/5. So we're going to add that to the 2/5. So what's 5/5 plus 2/5?
7/5.
7/5. So that 2 becomes a 7.
And then
Now what?
7 minus 3 is 4.
Okay, so 4/5. And 8 minus 4 is
8 minus 4 is 4.
good. Number 13. Okay. All right, we're back to, okay, we're still subtracting, but we're gonna work horizontally. So 8 and 7/8 minus 2 and 2/8. All right, Dylan, how would we do this?
So 2 plus 8 is 10.
Okay, we're subtracting them. And you know what? When you add or subtract, you're only adding or subtracting the numerator, right? This stays the same, 8.
So 7 minus 2 is 5.
Okay. So 5 is our numerator, and then 8 is the denominator.
And then 2 minus 8 is 6.
Yeah, 8 minus 2 is 6. All right, so in that case, we had no improper fractions, and we could just subtract. Number 14. 4 and a quarter. 4 and a fourth. Minus 1 and 2/4. Okay. Which brave soul is going to tell me how to do this? That hasn't done it. Did you tell me how to do one yet? Tell you what, let me call on.
I don't think I did. Number 13.
Huh?
I don't get number 13.
Number 13 was pretty simple because you didn't have to borrow. You didn't have to rename anything.
Can I?
8 and 7/8 minus 2 and 2/8. So you have 7 minus 2 is 5, and then your 8 stays the same, and then 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay, Jensen, tell me. Just tell me.
Okay,
1 minus 1 2/4. Now, can you subtract 1 minus 2?
No, so you go to your 4, make that a 3, and then that 3 turns that 1 to a 4, so it's 4/4 minus 2/4, which
No,
is...
no. Now listen. Okay, you're taking 1 away from the 4, right? We're taking a whole number away. So we have to think what fraction equals a whole.
5/4. Or no, 4/4.
Yeah.
Because I said 4/4.
Right. So we're taking 1 away from the 3. So the fraction we're going to use is 4/4. So 4/4 plus 1/4 is 5/4.
Okay, so
Now what?
5/4 minus 2/4 is 3/4.
Okay.
And then 1 minus 3 is 2, so 2.
3 minus 1 is
2.
2. Right. Okay. Number 15. Three and 1/6 minus 1 2/6. Okay, Brayden, you think you can tell me how to do this one? Okay, can you subtract 1 minus 2? No, so we're going to need to rename 3 and a 6. Yeah, so take a whole number away, so that becomes a 2. Now, remember we're in 6. So what fraction equals 1 that has a 6 on the denominator? Yeah, 6/6. Okay, so the 1 that we took away, we actually took away 6/6. So if we put the 6/6 and add it to the 1/6, what does that become? What's 6/6 plus 1/6? 7/6, right? Okay, so that cross that out, and so now we have 2 and 7/6. So now we're subtracting 2 and 7/6 minus 1 and 2/6. So what's our answer? And you can do whole numbers first or fractions, whichever.
5, 6.
Okay, 7/6 minus 2/6 is 5/6. And then what is 2 minus 1?
1.
Right. I think the hardest part is when you're taking a whole number away. Okay? You're not even taking it away. You're just kind of like mixing it, you're changing it, you're renaming it. Okay, so instead of 3 and 1/6, it's now going to be, it's now 2 and 7/6. It's the same amount. This is the same amount. We just had to rename it so that we could subtract. Okay? Kind of like we talked about, Logan has different names, but she's still the same girl. Okay? Logan could be Logan, or Logan could be a daughter.
Or Rebecca.
Alright? It's still Logan. These are both Logan.
No.
But it's just a different name. But they still them. So you just have to rename stuff so that you can subtract.
Logan, you're now a number.
Okay.
You're done.
Now don't get home and say, I have no clue how to do this.
Hang on.
All right. What number did we just do? We just
206.
we just did 14, or did we do 15?
We just did 15.
We just did 15. Okay. I still think we need more practice. Turn a page. Hey, listen. If you don't understand this, watch the video again. Okay? Alright, and maybe that'll help. Or you could even look on YouTube. Adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Okay? Sometimes it might help paying attention, and so that's why you don't understand, because you're drawing pictures on your pages. So, I don't know what to do for you. All right, 5 2/3 plus 2 2/3. All right, we're back to adding. I'm gonna, let's see, Matthew, how do I do this? We're adding. So what do we do?
4 plus 2.
Okay, 4 plus 2 is
6.
6. And then when we add our fractions, what do we get? What's 2/3 plus 2/3?
4/3.
Right, 4/3. Okay, now, do you see something that we need to change? I see an improper fraction, right? All right, so 6 4/3 is the same as what? So how can we change 4/3 into a mixed fraction? It's almost like we're dividing 3 into 4. So how many times will 3 go into 4? No, not 3 times 4. Look, it's like we're doing this. How many times will 3 go into 4? Only one time, right? If you have 4 things, how many groups of 3 can go into 4? Only one. Okay? And then how many are left over? Matthew, how many are left over? 1. So 1 is our numerator and 3 is our denominator. So we're thinking of 4/3 as the same as 1 1/3. So what's 6 plus 1 1/3? Matthew. We base 7. Six and 1/3, because these are the same numbers right here. Okay, so it's like we're saying 6 plus 1 1/3. So it's 7 and 1/3, right? All right, so 6 4/3 is the same as 7 1/3. Number 2. Noah, how do I do number 2? 3 3 6 plus 5 4 6. Okay, is 8, and then what?
5 plus 4.
I can't hear you, sorry.
Add 3 plus 4.
Okay, 3 6 plus 4 6 is what?
7.
Okay, 7 6. Okay, now do you see something that we need to change? Alright, if it helps, I mean, think of it like 7 6 is an improper fraction. So remember, we're going to do a thinking bubble. What can we think of 7 6 as? This is Noah. What's 7 6 as a mixed number? It's the same as 7 divided by 6. 1, and what's our remainder? Okay, so 1 and 1, 6, because we have to have the numerator. So we're thinking of 7 6 as 1 and a 6. So what's 8 plus 1 and a 6? 9 and a 6. Is that what you said? Or you were going to say? 5/7 plus 3 4/7. Dana, please tell me how to do this. How do I add? What am I adding? Start with, add your whole numbers. What's 2 plus 3? Okay, and now you add your fractions. What's 5/7 plus 4/7? 9/7. Okay, now this is improper, right? 9/7 is improper. So in your brain, look, here's a thinking bubble. What are we going to think of 9/7 as? We're going to rename it. So what's 9/7? And what's it as a mixed number? It's not same as 9 divided by 7. How many times will 7 go into 9? 1. And what's the remainder? 7 goes into 9. 1. How many left over? 2 left over. 2/7. Okay, so we're thinking of 9/7 as the same as 1 and 2/7. So now what's my answer? So it's 5 plus 1 and 2/7. Dana, what's 5 plus 1 and 2/7? It's just 6 and 2/7. Okay? Because look, 5, all you have to do is add 5 to 1. So you have 6 and 2/7. Okay, I think we need to finish the page just because I really think we need more practice. Okay, so we'll eat when we're done. Number 4. 5 plus 2 and 1/2. Now, when you're adding, you don't need to rename the 5. Okay? Because you can add anything to 0. So, how would I do this, Micah?
You would add 5 plus 2 is 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Right. 7 1/2. There it is. Okay. Number 5. Okay, now we're subtracting. 7 1/3 minus 2 2/3. Okay, now, before you start subtracting, think. Can I subtract 1 minus 2? No. So I need to think of 7 1/3 in a number that I can subtract 2/3 from it. Okay? So I'm gonna, essentially it looks like I'm borrowing. Mason, how do I do that?
7 minus 2.
No. Before you start subtracting, we need to rename 6, 7 1/3. How can we rename? We're thinking of this in a new number. How can we rename 7 1/3? Okay. I need 1/3 to be bigger because I have to take 2/3. So in order to do that, I need to take 1 from the 7. So what would it be?
Yeah.
Okay. And the 1 that I took away is what fraction that equals 1?
1/3.
Okay. I'm in thirds. So what? 1 equals what?
2.
1 equals 3/3. Okay, so I'm going to be adding 3/3 to 1/3. So what's that?
11.
1/3 plus 3/3 is 4/3. Okay, so now I'm thinking, all I did was rename 7 1/3 to 6 4/3. So now I'm subtracting. What's 4/3 minus 2/3? 2/3, okay. And then what's 6 minus 2? 4. So 4 2/3. Okay, number 6. 3 minus 1 1/2. Now, can you subtract 1/2 from 0? No. So how can I rename 3? I'm going to think of it in a different number, as a different number. Lucas, how would I do that? I'm going to rename 3. It's still going to be the same amount. It's still going to be 3, but how can I rename it? 2 and what? Right, 2 and 2/2. Okay, that's the same as 3. Oh, sorry. Okay, 2 and 2/2 is the same as 3. So now, Lucas, what's my answer? What's 2 and 2/2 minus 1 1/2?
1 1/2.
Yep, 1 1/2. Good job. All right, number 7. 6 4/5 minus 3 2/5. Okay, this one's easy because we don't need to rename anything. What's my answer? Just tell me the answer. What is it?
3 2/5.
Yay! 3 2/5. We didn't have to rename anything. And renaming really isn't that hard. You just have to think, okay, I'm taking 1 out and I'm renaming it. What's the fraction that equals 1? All right, number 8 is 9 3/6 minus 3 4/6. Okay, who's gonna be my lucky ducky? Jacob. You're my lucky ducky. All right. How do I subtract this? First of all, can I do 3/6 minus 4/6? No. So I need to rename 9 and 3/6. How am I going to rename it? So I'm going to be thinking of it as a different number. Okay, in order to make 3/6 larger, I'm going to need to take a whole out of 9, right? So if I take 1 whole from 9, what's it become? Take 1 from 9. What is it? 8. All right, now that 1 that I took from the 9, what's the fraction that it equals? We're in 6. So what fraction equals 1 that has 6 as a denominator? Jacob? What fraction equals 1? Look, 1. What goes there? 6/6, okay? So the 1 that I took from the 9 is the same as 6 6. So now I'm going to add 6 6 to 3 6, which makes what? 9 6. Okay, so think of, this is now going to be saying 8 and 9 6 minus 3 and 4 6. So what's the answer? What's 8 and 9 6 minus 3 and 4 6? What's 9 6 minus 4 6? 5 6. And then what's 8 minus 3? 5. Okay, so 5 and 5 6.